This is the American Dream, Dustin Rhodes, son of a plumber, daddy, and you're listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special AEW Revolution edition of the BCP. Super excited to have back by popular demand our all-star stellar panel. There's so much to talk about here, guys. I'm so excited to get this all-star panel, like I said, back in action. There's some heat here, there's some feuds here, but we got to get down to business. Let's introduce first the man, the myth, the legend, hashtag Dad Instincts. Of course, you know him as Orange Bill Bodkin. You know him as lay editor-in-chief of thepopbreak.com. Our good friend with that beautiful voice, Mr. Bill Bodkin. What's up, bro? How are you?
What's going on, man? You did miss the obvious joke, king of puns over there. This is an all-elite panel. That's what you meant to say, not the all-star panel, the all-elite panel. There you go. This is why you pay me. No, you don't. I didn't pay you, so we're even. Love you.
Cheers to that.
I'm rocking the Don Callis forbidden. I was going to say the forbidden hand, the silent hand glasses. I am the forbidden hand. So
love it, Bill. And you know we love the puns over here, the pun disputed era, as we call ourselves. And please welcome back to the show. You know her after several stellar appearances on the BCP, but you know her more importantly from RDP Promotions. She talks to all the stars. She handles business. She is Kimmy Talks Wrestling on YouTube. Please welcome back to the show the unbreakable Miss Kimmy. What's up, Kimmy? How are you?
Hi, guys. Hi, Kyle. Kyle's very angry over here. I don't know why. I'm happy to be here, though.
Wow. I don't know why he's angry. His best friend,
You're here, Bill.
On Dynamite.
You're here, Bill.
Well, no, your real best friend, Mr. Sean Spears.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did think
I saw him pop out. I'm like, there is a Canadian who's saying A right now. He's saying A.
I was saying a lot more than A.
I did think of you, Kyle. And of course, let's do the very formal introduction as we always do here on the BCP. Please welcome back to the show a key member of the BCP crew, a pillar of the BCP All Elite panel. You know him from the No Holds Barred Network. You know him from the All Elite Pod. Let's see if I get this right. He is the self-proclaimed best podcast host. I botched it again.
All you gotta do is replace best with
greatest. It was, so I did it wrong the first time. I tried, man.
That's okay.
The self-proclaimed, this is why I don't ring announce. The self-proclaimed greatest podcast host, our neighbor to the north, Mr. Kyle Masters. What's up, bro? How are you, man?
So happy to be back with this panel. I love that I'm here to see Bill and Rob. Let's get this going here.
What the heck?
Oh, Kimmy, hi. I didn't even see you there. Hi.
Awkward. Yikes.
He's so mean. How?
This is like Hogan and Piper in the 80s right now, man.
Yeah.
This feud ain't gonna end anytime soon.
Yeah, it's the hot feud right now. That's why we keep having this panel back. You guys have been killing it. So I'm excited. You know, all these panels and prior big shows that we've been talking about. No pun the big show. You see, Bill got it.
Shows.
You see what I did? No, there's no more BS here, guys. But I digress. But we've been talking about Revolution. We've been talking about like things we thought we might see moving forward. You know, we thought we were going to see Britt versus Sheeta. We kind of talked about that. It didn't really play out that way. We've been talking that way for months. So let's talk as we always do. We'll start with ladies first here. We do have a pre-show match. We have Riho and Thunder Rosa, former guests of the BCP, taking on Britt Baker and Rebel, right? It's Rebel now. Like it's officially Rebel, right?
According to Tony Khan on the Unrestricted podcast today, it's Rebel.
To me, it's always been Rebel. But
it's always been Rebel. Remember, she was in TNA first as part of Mike Knox's menagerie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I saw that live. That was terrible. But she's known as Reba. But, yeah, she's always been Rebel. But, as you mentioned about that podcast, a little programming note, that Rebel is complaining of injury.
Mm-hmm.
So if Rebel cannot compete,
What? That was my pick, Kyle. I literally said that in your comment section in your podcast. I wrote it in all caps.
Well, I
Kyle's
mean, she's from New
I know.
Jersey, so we'll accept the answer.
stealing my notes over here.
That's not my pick, though.
my pick.
I one time, I know I'm digressing, but I saw Deonna Purrazzo very early in her career at a Jersey All Pro show, got busted right open, somehow got her cheek cut open,
Ooh.
gushing blood, finished the whole match, and won. Wow,
Tough
she
cookie.
is tough.
Wow,
Tough
that's
cookie.
awesome. Well, and let's get right into it, guys. Excuse me. This is the pre-show match. Bill, we'll throw it right back to you, my man. Who do you got winning this one? Oh, okay.
You should. So this match, so when you think about all the women who are in AEW right now, and it's just like you put Thunder and Riho together to make these super friends of women in a tag team, and then it's like they're going against Britt Baker. You're like, okay, I'm on board, and Reba, and you're like, and there's the swerve, because there's definitely going to be something happening here. And as I listened to the All Elite podcast earlier today, Kyle did mention, the forbidden door is not just for the dudes. It has to be for the women, because let's face it, the AEW women's division is making these glacial moves of improvement. The Impact Wrestling women's division has taken a lot of losses, especially with the loss of Taya Valkyrie, expiring contracts on Rosemary and Jordan Grace. So who knows where they'll end up. So people need talent. So Deonna Purrazzo has been asking for new competition, and I think we could see this happen. If it's not Deonna Purrazzo, which I think it really could and should be, because what a way to start out. And there are rumors there will be a lot of debuts on this episode. This pay-per-view. Yeah. That would be huge. The other name I could see, just because, I don't know, read into tweets a little too much, Rachel Ellering. That's the other person.
Forgot about her.
I love Rachel Ellering. And not just because she's also the girlfriend of one of my all-time favorites, Chris Hero, but because she's awesome. And she has been in AEW before, and she's coming off injury. She's like talking about how 2021 is going to be this amazing year. It'd be great to see her in there, but I think in my pick for this match is going to be awesome, because you have the two aces of the AEW women's division, like, Riho and Thunder in there. And I'm going to go with Team Britt, because my theory here is, and here goes Bill Bodkin's wild whiskey fueled theories, is we are going to get our first female faction in AEW, and Britt Baker will be the head of it. If it's Deonna Purrazzo, we can see this interpromotional thing going on here, and I'm all about it. Not that it's going to happen, because my predictions are usually wrong, but why not? Why not? Why not? It would be great. It'd be awesome. And that would play into my pick for later for the women's title match. So, Team Britt.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like we always talk about, AEW has been a lot more unpredictable lately. We thought the matchup with Britt, as we said earlier, was going to be a little bit different. Very, very interesting. Kyle, your thoughts on this one, my friends?
It just was a shame that Britt is not facing Cheetah right now.
I'll get into that with the women's title match. Don't worry. I know. I got a whole explanation for that. My boss, Tony Khan, told me the whole thing.
But again, like you said about Reba, and then like what you said, Bill, that's the one where you go, oh, something's going to happen here, because Reba, as good as she is, she ain't selling you the pay-per-view. She's not the reason you're tuning into the buy-in to see if the people that are going to buy the pay-per-view that still haven't bought it yet. You're going to want to have a name in there. So the Deonna Purrazzo prediction is great. She's a name there, especially the people from Impact. I want to say great pick, and I will go along with that pick. But if it's not, I could see Nyla Rose being the replacement for Reba in this case.
What? I don't think that would happen.
Me neither.
You know what? I'll tell you why. Not that it's a bad pick at all. Is because Britt's already been, like she said, tweeted to Mizunami, break her in half. So why would Nyla Rose team with her? But my other
your friends close and your enemies closer.
The only other person I could think of, and because I totally forgot it, alcohol, whatever, is everyone's favorite from this tournament. If she came over, I don't think she made it over.
Maki Ito?
If it was Maki Ito, Cody Rhodes is basically like, I'm a huge fan. And imagine it was Maki Itoh. The whole place, the 1,300 people being there. Rob, you need to catch up in your women's eliminator tournament a little bit because you will be like, Maki Itoh,
Star.
She's great. Star. Like no one has. I don't think I've ever seen where someone has lost in the first round of a tournament, and everyone's like, "That's the best person in the tournament."
Yeah, her dead fish thing is like the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Her dead fish drop is just. It's amazing. She's a 2-minute concert. Her damn entrance. Her entrance is as long as Undertaker's entrance, but it's fantastic.
Okay, I'm with you. I did watch that. Okay, I'm with you.
But I'm picking Baker, and if it's Reba, maybe, or her replacement to go over in this match.
Yeah, I think that's a very safe pick. Now I see Kimmy just rubbing her hands and reacting to everything. She's got the Kimmy Kazoo over there. Kimmy, what are your thoughts on this one?
I need Kyle to stop making fun of me over here. Like, come on, bro. This is the buy-in. We're on the buy-in.
I've got your back.
Thank you. You're making faces. I see you in the bottom right corner. Anyway, so I think it's Deonna Purrazzo, like I said on Kyle's podcast in the comment section. But I think we're all forgetting here that there is somebody's 90-day clause that is over.
Kimmy, this is why you're here.
And he has been rumored to go to AEW.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about that.
Soon to follow by Tommy End.
Oh, dude, don't. First off, do not tease me with a good time. Secondly, I've been thinking about that, and I've often wondered if she's going to continue with wrestling because of how much she makes off of only her Twitch and stuff like that. Like, I'm wondering if she's even going to go back to wrestling.
Once you see the dollar signs.
I know. Tony Khan's very interested. You're right, though. Tony Khan, it was just like, oh, is her 90-day ups? Twirl the mustache.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, I'm going to the bank.
Could you not sign a guard for the Jaguars? I need to go sign Zelina Vega.
How much cap do we have? Oh, we can pull from that.
They have $89 million in cap, so yeah, they can pull from it.
Go ahead, Kimmy.
Well, who knows how much of that $89 million went to the big signee that we'll get to later. But anyway, I'm going to go with Rio and Thunder. I don't know why. To me, this match shouldn't be on the... Yeah, I mean, this match shouldn't be on the buy-in. I would rather the pointless Miro-Sabin match be on the buy-in because I don't really care about that storyline.
There's a story. There's no story with this one.
I agree with Kimmy. It's a better match to be on the big show. Especially
I care about this.
But then you're making that women's match be the cool down match because what other match is a cool down match?
Oh shit, that's right.
Because all the other matches are not cool down matches whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going with Rio and Thunder.
Okay.
It's a good pick, man.
That's a great pick. It's always when we have Britt and Thunder on opposite ends, it's always very tricky. Like we stumble with that one. I feel if there is going to be a replacement involved in this match, the team obviously with the replacement I feel will win. That way I'll give the edge to the Britt Baker team, whatever that may or may not be. So I'll go that way for the pre-show. Let's move on, guys. There's a lot to cover here. Before we go down the match card real quick, Bill and I were talking about this morning. Paul White had rumored, and again, shout to that shirt, man. I popped for that so much. Was it No More BS? I thought that was brilliant in itself, but I digress. But he kind of hinted at a Hall of Fame worthy competitor. I'm very interested to hear some of your theories. Bill and I had a couple things going back and forth. Bill kind of inadvertently convinced me of something, but Kimmy, I know you were tweeting some stuff.
Just to make you sound like an idiot.
No. I mean, I can do that on my own, as you've seen my writing. But Kimmy, we'll send it to you because you were tweeting some stuff today. Who do you think this person may or may not be?
For all you dumbos that think it's CM Punk, you're dumb. What are you thinking? Like, what? It just doesn't make sense. He's dumb.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
Why does it not make sense? Okay. First off, you know your wrestling history. No one is usually ever done.
I'm aware of this, but are you also saying that from Batista tweeting before that? Are you saying that Batista is technically not done?
No, he's not. I don't think he's done. I think he's got movies he's making right now, and that's why you're not going to see him. But I don't
Guardians of
think
the
you'll
Galaxy.
see. What was that?
He's making the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
3, yeah. So I think that's why might not see John Cena at WrestleMania either. But it's yeah, I mean, there's very few people who just stay done.
Very true. But Kimmy, go ahead.
Yes, Bill. Go.
And he's also lightened his stance on AEW, where he was always just like, don't want to go. All of a sudden, he's talking about his dream opponents. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
I feel like he has other outside projects to do, and I just feel like he's done. Like, I don't care this never say never thing. No, and that's the same thing with AJ. I know Kyle was tweeting about that. It's not going to be AJ either.
Well, it's going to be a guy. Tony Khan.
It's going to be a guy. I know. So I made list of things that I took note of all day.
It's the list of Kimmy.
The list of Kimmy. So at first I was like, okay, maybe it's Mark Henry, but I think that makes too much sense for it to be AEW. Because I'm like, it's AEW. No, we do surprises here. We don't do obvious stuff like the other company in Connecticut does. Not that.
Oh.
The one with the logo back there, I can kind of see that company.
Yeah, that one.
Shooter McGavin. Watch out.
So then I've seen Christian. And I know Christian is not signed to WWE. But
as far as you know.
Conflicting reports about that, by the way.
Yes, there are conflicting reports, but I feel like him at the Rumble is not done. I feel like I still feel like he has something to do. Yeah, his Edge is there, maybe a tag team. I thought at Fastlane we were going to get him and Edge versus Reigns and Jay, but apparently we're going in a completely different direction. But I believe it is not going to be a wrestler. I think it's going to be another talent, because I feel like, Tony and Paul White, they announced it and they were like, Paul White, have really caught up on my commentary role. So why are we just going to assume it's a wrestler? Why can't we just think beyond the wrestler point and think of maybe it being a commentator or another talent? Now, I don't know what commentator is going to be. Because I've seen the rumors of Joey Styles, and then I was like, what? No. And then I was trying to think of other commentators it could be, and then my mind just went all over the place, because I'm like, Jerry Lawler, no. JBL, no. And then I just couldn't.
There's a real obvious one you're missing.
If they sign Jerry Lawler, I'll stop watching AEW. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm leaving.
As will I.
So I think it's a commentator. I don't know which obvious one I'm missing, and that makes me kind of sad because I want to be a commentator.
Mauro Ranallo.
Well,
my
favorite.
GOAT.
I like him too, but I don't know. Because I thought about that. I was like,
You have another show on TNT? Why not?
Yo, weird though. I read a report that ROH was looking at Joey Styles, and that's why those names came up.
That's fine. Let him go there.
But I'm going with the commentator.
Okay, very interesting. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Let's throw it to Bill, because we had a great conversation on that morning.
Oh yeah, we did. Sorry, it takes me a while to remember anything I do during the workday. So there are many ways this can go. Someone threw out there, and I thought was a really clever thing, was, what if Paul White is referring to himself?
I saw that.
That would get so much backlash.
But
agreed.
That is the switcheroo. That is the big smoke and mirrors for the reveal at the end of the show, because the person they've actually signed is the person who'll be challenging Kenny Omega next. That would be the money. It's the Brody Lee, Matt Hardy switch. Everyone's like, Matt Hardy's the exalted one. No, he's not. It was Brody Lee, and who saw it coming?
Hold up. So is Paul White gonna pull a heel turn here?
No. Yeah, I mean, of course that would not shock me one bit. But I could see, I feel like the thing is, I feel like this signing, it could be very adverse to AEW if it's not a good one, because people are really putting a lot of focus on this, not the rest of the card right now. And you're like, if it sucks, people are like, it's Bully Ray. I'm like, that would be terrible.
That would be god awful. How is there so much hype for Bully Ray of all people if it's freaking
literally
Ray? Can you imagine? That doesn't make any sense if it's Bully Ray.
No, it would be an awful choice. It'd be awful, especially how wonderfully he booked Enzo and Cass at the New Japan Ring of Honor show, or how he booked Women of Honor. Like people want to talk about AEW's women division. Look at when he booked that.
Ugh.
Awful. I guess I'll never go on Busted Open. But anyway,
You're right.
Rob's like, I have no idea what that is. But
Not true.
but yeah, it's not good. But I look at it, there's a lot of process of elimination. Christian is one, but there is conflicting reports that saying Wrestling Inc. said, hey, he's signed. And there are two names that it comes down to, because I've seen him, I've seen a few others, RVD thrown out, I've seen Kurt Angle thrown out. The two names that it comes down to for me, and I'm sure I'm wrong, are CM Punk and Brock Lesnar.
No, if Brock Lesnar comes, my TV's
and people are like, why would Brock Lesnar? Because when Brock Lesnar was brought up to Tony Khan said, I can't comment about that situation. So that means, but here's the thing. Imagine you bring in Brock Lesnar. He's like, Rena, I'm going to AEW to put over Kenny Omega.
Oh, man.
Actually, Kenny Omega beats Brock Lesnar.
Brock has a legitimate fight, not a 2-minute squash match.
And Brock actually, well, hey, remember
You saw the Styles fight. Him and Styles had like a 20-minute banger, man.
Him and Finn Balor had a great
Yeah.
match. Imagine if Brock Lesnar beat Kenny Omega. No, I'm sorry. Switch that. Kenny Omega beat Brock Lesnar. That's huge. You know what else that propels to? The next person, the person who actually defeats Kenny Omega, will be that much more celebrated, put on that much more of a pedestal, because I don't think whoever they're bringing in, if they're going after Omega, they're losing to Omega. And that's just going to further the legend of Omega. So whomever beats him, Hangman Page, when they win, it's going to mean that much more, because look who Omega beat. He beat Moxley. He beat whomever this person is. Yeah. And you just have Kenny run through all the names. Yeah. The legends, the new hotness, the old hotness, and he wins. So to me, it's Punk or Lesnar. And that's how I'm going to go with it.
Very, very interesting, Bill. Yeah, we'll throw it to you in just 1 second. Kyle, I would like to say this. Big shout to our good friends over at Busted Open Radio. And Kyle, we'll throw it over to you real quick.
Anyways, man, Brock Lesnar, putting it like that, I see it. Because you think about it, Brock Lesnar, what does he have left to do in the WWE? Like himself.
Make more money.
Collect money, improve his farm. He's a big farm boy. He loves his damn farm in Saskatchewan. The guy's put all his money he's made from WWE into that farm. I don't know if anyone's seen pictures of his damn farm.
Don't care.
I've seen 2. Oh my God, man. The one was a lineup. He's got like 9 or 10 like giant tractors, like the most modern looking things in the world, and they're all lined up against each other. And he was just standing there. I'm like, man, like this guy's got like, imagine how much money he's making off that farm. Plus, it's insane. Like farming up in Canada, especially Saskatchewan, is huge. So, I can see that the money thing would be the only thing tying him to WWE. But if he, he's a wrestler, he's going to have that love for professional wrestling. If he has that love and he sees AEW and all that talent that's over here and a chance to make money at the same time because he sees Tony Khan, massive billionaire, why not come over to AEW and give it a shot? I don't know where that puts him in Vince's books. If Vince just slides out under the carpet next time he wants to do a WWE run, that he comes over and comes back with that. But I don't know. Brock Lesnar is an interesting pick. To be honest, I don't know. Like I'd love for it to be Punk. I would mark out. Like I was a massive CM Punk fan.
Same.
When he did the whole best in the world thing. Like I was a massive mark back then. I would be amazing for him to come over here. I just don't know what he has left in the tank. And if he does want to come back, he's always like, you don't know with him. Like he's either having fun doing what he's doing now, going to Blackhawk games, covering the Blackhawks and doing movies, or he's going to come back to wrestling eventually, and this might be the spot to do it. If it is him, I don't think he's going to be there. I think it's going to be a video. If it's CM Punk, it'll be a video on the Titantron, or there's be a graphic. It's not going to be a thing. Yeah. People will still pop for that, but I don't think he's there necessarily. And even if he is there, I don't think Punk, we're going to see him until All Out. And by then, I think AEW would have a plan of, you know what, we're going to put it in stone now that we're going to go back to Chicago in September, whether it be late September, October. We'll push All Out just to get it back in a stadium. And that's where CM Punk will make his debut in AEW in his hometown. He'll have that much time to get back in the ring shape. They can do promo stuff from now until then. That's the only way he's coming back. If not, I don't know who the hell is going to be. Like I ran through everybody today. Kimmy mentioned, I said, AJ Lee, that would be a sweet catalyst for the division. That would be an awesome pick, but we don't know what the hell's going on with her. She's as quiet as CM Punk is with all this stuff. So who knows? Who knows who it's going to be? I'm just going to stop trying to guess at this point and just say, I hope it's not a letdown, because you cannot put that much effort in promoting this if it's going to be like someone like a Bully Ray, RVD, or Batista. I don't think
Batista would be huge.
Yeah.
It would be. No. That's a big pick. People love Batista.
Okay, fine. Then RVD or Bully Ray.
Yeah.
Like, you can't,
no disrespect. Yeah.
There's all the hype from Dynamite with the Paul White thing. Then even Tony Khan did the hype thing today. And people were mentioning that he said it's true like 6 times. And is he kind of like giving us
angle
there? I don't know. Who knows? I'm just gonna CM Punk. Why not?
Well, I
don't know, because I don't know. I don't think I want to know. I want to be left surprised. I don't know. But the Brock Lesnar, that theory is really that was that where you were talking to me in the DMs? Was that it?
No, I got other stuff too. Man. Don't worry. I got like 6 other ones.
Okay.
I will say one more thing, because my dad and I were trying to talk about this before. And in the promo with Miro popped up, and he goes, you know what would be interesting? Since Pat McAfee seems to be like so into like AEW celebrities, it should be Pat McAfee. And I almost like screamed and had a whole meltdown in my room.
Cody kind of like took a shit on him.
Oh yeah, that was great.
He's just like, Pat McAfee's talking shit. He's like the guy who calls us every other day. Yeah, that's cool.
Yikes.
Oh, man. Pat McAfee, I'm going to be really mad. Stay in NXT.
Pat McAfee make a great manager someday.
No. Stop making fun of my hand gestures.
Oh, boy. The heat is on already here in the feud.
2 separate corners. Come on. Rob's gonna make his pick because he's really excited about this.
Greatest feud of all time. No, you know I'm all about the name drops here. And you can check our interview with this pick on the popbreak.com with the man who invented the 3 eyes and won a gold medal with, what was it, Bill?
Broken toe.
That was a broken freaking neck.
It was a broken freaking neck. Check out that interview where Kurt Angle did say to me, Mr. Bodkin, he said, making that adjustment to that backstage role was tough for him, getting out of the ring. He said that on the popbreak.com, and a ton of dirt sheets blew it up. Yes, I'm very bitter about that. He was fantastic. They spun it every different way, which I was not very thrilled about. But Kurt Angle was great. We can see that he loves the business. He's doing that podcast now. I won't say he was taking shots, but he was kind of really pulling back the curtain a little bit lately. Everything Bill was saying to me this morning, why it could be Angle, not saying that it was, but why it could, really made a lot of sense to me. Big Show is the one who's kind of preempting it. Like, that makes sense to me too. Like, another big WWE guy, Big Show kind of making that, like, no, none of you guys saw this turn coming, and we didn't, which is why I loved it so much. Now this one, they're just like, someone's coming and we're on our podcast talking about it. So I think Kurt Angle would make a lot of sense. Is it going to be necessarily in an in-ring capacity? I know he would want that, as we've seen, but I think he knows, and he's said on several occasions he wishes, like we all get to that point, especially athletes, you know what I mean? And I've talked to people who work with, people in the NBA and stuff, and they've said athletes have come to them, they're just like, I don't have it anymore, and that sucks, but we all get to that point, man. And I would love to see him back in the ring, but at the same time, he has value. He has value to this business. Him being involved with AEW makes a lot of sense, and that is a very AEW move to me for a lot of reasons. All right, guys, there's a lot of speculation, who it's going to be, but we have a card to cover. There, yeah. If you smell what he's cooking, but everyone
I would die.
Oh man, everyone check out
So
Young
excited.
Rock. I hear it's very good. Check out that review on the
Very
pop.com. Shameless promo. Let's get moving. We got a full card to cover here.
Oh,
Let's go.
that's
I'm going to start with big money Matt Hardy taking on Hangman Adam Page. This is interesting to me. Matt Hardy kind of playing that $1 Million Man-esque kind of role, paying people off. It's very interesting to me, but I'm not necessarily loving it. Mike always says I use the word interesting when I'm really not feeling something. And that's
I use the word fine for like when I don't like something. It's like it's fine.
Yeah, I learned that yesterday, but I digress. But basically,
my mental state. It's fine.
It's all good. Always good to have you here, my man. But I'm not necessarily feeling this match. I just say Paige wins here. It gives me that vibe like they don't know what necessarily you're doing with Matt Hardy, and this kind of gets to my nitpicking with AEW, which I love so much. But like nothing's really full circle. You know, it's great to have a lot of moving parts as we've seen in a lot of factions, but it's not a full circle thing. With him coming in and like the Mr. X with him coming in, we thought broken Matt Hardy is going to be utilized in a way he wasn't utilized. And I'm not saying that's the only way to go with him. You know, Jericho has said on interviews, just reinvention is the key to his success. But I don't know if I'm necessarily feeling this with Matt Hardy. I think this is another stepping stone for Hangman Adam Page. I'm going to go Adam Page on this one, but with some shenanigans in the fallout and shenanigans probably before and during the match. Kyle, we'll throw it to you. Your thoughts on this one?
You know what? I'm actually going to go a little bit opposed to that. I think this feud has actually been very good storytelling in a sense, because they've played this feud out between all three shows. That's Dynamite, Dark, and BTE. It's carried through all three shows the last couple of weeks. So if you're watching all three, you've been following along, and they've been gradually growing the story through all three, which has been fantastic. This goes all the way back to their bar scene with the contracts and Hangman switching it behind Matt Hardy's back. There's so much beef after that. Like it escalated from there. Like it was sort of brewing when Matt Hardy came out and, you know, kind of told, or not told, but kind of like was like telling Hangman, like, I'm behind you, you know, like I'm here to support you. And everyone kind of knew what this was going at because they saw what, you know, him being big money Matt with Private Party. We're like, there's no way he's being a baby face with Hangman. Matt Hardy has his goons, obviously, with Private Party and Hybrid 2 is his hired goons. $4,200, by the way, for what Jack Evans did. I mean, Matt Hardy, you can pay me $4,200 and I'll do a better job.
I take it, brother.
That envelope with the $4,200, I was like, that's what for what he did. Anyways, then Hangman's got, you know, this relationship with the Dark Order. It's not a team because there's that. It was mentioned on BTE. There's the whole skit where the Dark Order told Hangman, they're like, you know, we're going to stop asking you to be in the Dark Order, but we just want to be your friends. And whenever you're in trouble, we're going to be there to help you out. And then Hangman agreed. And they've been having wonderful skits on BTE since. So it's been a great storyline feud. It is just great. Like Hangman with the Dark Order is just so cool. Like this goes back. I was on the media call with Cody, and Cody answered one of my questions about tournaments, and he did mention the trios tournament he'd like to see. If there ever was a trios tournament, I'd love for Hangman, Silver, and Reynolds to be together.
The bad, and the hungry, man.
It would be so great. You know, the crowd would eat that up, and they'd be so over. So that would be fantastic. As for this match, should be still a good one. Matt Hardy and Hangman going at it. I mean, Matt Hardy's undefeated in pay-per-views on AEW so far, and you got Hangman, who's undefeated in 2021 at 4-0. So you got kind of two undefeated streaks going at it in a way. And I actually have Hangman going on top too, Rob. I picked him, but I wouldn't be shocked. Mr. Matt Hardy comes out on top.
Very interesting, man. Really good stuff as always, Kyle. Kimmy, your thoughts on this?
We like when Kyle becomes statistical with the undefeated stuff. Good job. Good note taking. Good job.
He's
wow.
Jesus.
Pat on the back.
I was actually genuinely telling you good job.
Okay.
Like, wow. Okay. So I agree with Rob in the beginning. I didn't like where this was going just because I was like, how many people can we put Matt Hardy with? Like, come on. I know, but I want him to do more than just manager role. But when this picked up on BTE, I enjoyed it. I was like, yes, because BTE, best YouTube show, guys. Please watch it. I'm going with Paige. I feel like, you know, Hardy has all the money in the world because he's just taking money from all the youngsters. So I'm going with Paige in a very nice technical match.
Interesting. And that is the second best show on YouTube. Next to, of course, Kimmy Talks Wrestling. Bill, your thoughts on this one?
So, Rob, address a couple things you said. So, yeah, Matt Hardy definitely was floundering for a while, and he even just recently did an article with in the Asbury Park Press, actually, believe it or not. Yeah, well, don't get me started on that. That Broken Matt works with the live crowd. And since with the pandemic, he had to figure out a new way because it wasn't working. So Big Money Matt has taken a while to evolve, and I really like this for him because he's in that player coach role where he is wrestling a lot, and he's showing this kind of side he showed on when he was in WWE, but only on his own social media. He's like, was it like, I'm Matt Hardy and you don't know how it is to be Matt Hardy or something like that. He's like, I had to wait for my fast pass or something. Like, I had to wait 10 minutes on my fast pass line at Disney World. You don't know what it's like to be Matt Hardy. and it's just like, and it plays into this old school, they keep saying Carney, this old school wrestling trope of him being a legit manager and taking money. And I feel like he's really thrived in this role. And Matt Hardy is like one of the best chameleons in wrestling because he's been able to adapt and survive and change his colors whenever needed. And I love this role for him. And I want him to lose because I want to see him go nuts. And I want to see what happens next because what he's doing with Private Party and his hired guns with TH2 is like so classic territory wrestling stuff. It's amazing. And I've seen Adam Page and Matt Hardy wrestle live before in Ring of Honor back in the day at Ring of Honor Final Battle 2013. Like, you were there? You were there? And Adam Page was wearing like a John Deere styled like trunks. He had like a trucker cap on. He was like young boy Adam Page. And Matt Hardy was essentially doing a similar character where he would talk about how much money Ring of Honor was paying him because he's a superstar per match, like 15 grand per match or something, which could be a lie, but like it worked perfectly. And Adam Page is like right now my favorite dude in AEW and of all wrestling right now. And I love this storyline with the Dark Order. It is like so oddly sweet and also like emotional. And I'm like, that's my jam right there. And I love it. And eventually it's going to end up, we're going to have Hangman Page and his band of weirdos taking on Kenny Omega and the Bullet Club. Oh. And it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
A year ago, we thought the Dark Order was the biggest joke in AEW. Like, remember last year they were on the buy-in, and that's how Colt Cabana came in to help SCU. And now they're like potentially aligned to be the biggest babyface group in AEW. Hangman Page, I will have a whiskey in his honor when he wins this match.
There it is. Very, very interesting, man. You knocked it out of the park, Bill. And I do like the part. With Adam Page being involved with the Dark Order. I do, like you said, that's very sweet. I do enjoy that stuff very much. And Johnny Hungy recently on our good friend CVV's show recently talking about how the Dark Order has become, some of the biggest baby faces in the company, man. I'm all about it right now. Big fan of 10. So let's talk about, where should we go with this? Let's go into what do we have? That tag team battle royale. Now, here's the real question that we always ask on this podcast. Is SCU
yes.
Okay, wait, no, here's my thing. Guys, in the beatdown at the end of the show, SCU came out, but they are not on the graphic. So
I think
neither is Ray Phoenix and
so Ray Phoenix and Pac did get added to the graphic, but I do believe that SCU is in this match. Yes, they definitely, I think, are in this match.
I hope
that's
so.
beautiful.
I hope so.
I hope so for Kimmy's sake as well.
I'm definitely. Go ahead, Kimmy.
They're not my pick, but I'd be so happy if they're in it.
Yeah, I'm definitely teasing y'all. This is what I have in my very poor handwriting. Death Triangle, although technically not a triangle when there's only two of them. We have 5 and 10 from the Dark Order. We have Private Party. We have Butcher and the Blade, Santana and Ortiz. Silver Reynolds, Evil Uno, and Stu, Top Flight, and Bear Country would be a very interesting pick. Am I missing anyone? Maybe a Chaos Project or something like that? No.
No.
Yeah, well, they were in the beatdown at the end, so I would not be surprised to see them.
So was the Varsity Blondes, but they're also
Varsity Blondes were added to the
okay.
for sure.
Very interesting.
I love the Varsity Blondes.
But obviously, go ahead.
Can we get an updated bracket, like a graphic AEW? Like, come on! I don't know.
I think the winner will be in the original bracket. Anyone they've added is not
okay.
Good. Yeah, asking AEW social media for things is
it's not the best. I know.
Jeff's trying. Okay.
He's guilty as charged.
Trying.
Bill, you ain't getting the job.
Oh no. Okay, so I got the whole thing. By the way, By the way.
Please.
Oh, by the way, I'm not making a joke that even Tony Khan makes. So, it is Bear Country, Silver and Reynolds, Uno and Stu, Santana and Ortiz, Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Tips Boys, Top Flight, Varsity Blondes, the Seidel Brothers, SCU, the Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall, the Chaos Project, the Gun Club, because of course
they got to be there.
Bear Country, who I mentioned, I think already, and TBA.
Always fun. Another teaser. We can talk about debuts and appearances and new tag team. There you go.
Oh, Josh Alexander's still under contract.
But you got on paper, you have to give the advantage again to the Dark Order. Kimmy, I know you were very upset. I believe it was you about 10's loss. I was very upset about that. I'm a big fan of his. But
don't mess with Platinum Max.
But I'm a fan of his too, man. He's great and good friend. Get well. Bowens. I think you said he was hurt, right, Bill?
Yeah, he's got a knee injury.
Such a nice dude. Former guest of the BCP. Only guest that we have interviewed where he's like, "Hey, let's go sit down." Brought us like chairs and brought us to table. Total gentleman.
Brought us a charcuterie plate. It was wonderful.
No, it was No, he was great. So I'm so sad because they've been fired. Those videos they had, the recent one on Dark.
It's not a long term injury.
Good.
What Tony got, from what I've read, he's working through it.
And shout out to our friends GoPro Wrestling who do a great job on those videos. They're too humble to put it everywhere, but they are fantastic. But you have to give the Dark Order the edge here. I'm just gonna, and I know I always pick the Dark Order. I'm gonna go 5-10 here, maybe as a consolation prize, because I was very, very surprised that 10 lost that match. Kimmy, your thoughts?
So the winners of this get a tag team title shot, right?
What's that supposed to mean? Are you insulting the Dark Order?
I'm insulting the two junior members of the team.
Don't just use it for me.
Don't shame me. Don't shame me.
The Kimmy Kazoo, it's so funny because
don't even.
It doesn't make any noise.
I was talking to Rob. I'm not talking to you. I'm saying so you're picking 5 and 10. That's very interesting.
Okay.
Picking 15. Go ahead.
15. Okay.
Listen, it's more than one.
So now that there's a TBA, I don't know. Because I kind of want to pick whoever the TBA is, but I did write. So my original notes say SCU with a question mark because we don't know if they're showing up, but they're still not my pick. I also picked Silver and Reynolds because I feel like they just need a tag title shot. I feel like it is time. Like, what are we waiting for here? I don't want to wait for trio tag titles with Paige. I want them to get a shot. The big end all match is the Good Brothers versus the Young Bucks anyway. So let's just put a filler in there. We have a huge tag team division. Why not? I also put Ray and Pac on here too because they're another favorite who I also feel like could take this. But I'm also going to say here, if the TBA is the Good Brothers, I am picking them. And a shameless.
Oh, I did not think of that. That's an excellent point.
Shameless promo. I'm working with the Good Brothers the day before at the big event. Yeah, so if you were there, come say hi to me.
They
better clear that protocol.
They did. Don't worry.
I wanted to plug that at the beginning of the show. And first of all, everyone be safe, like follow the rules and all that. But Kimmy, go ahead, do a plug. I want to do one at the beginning before.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
Me?
Yeah, it came out really. You got really excited. I didn't hear exactly what you said.
I said that the TVA should be the Good Brothers.
No. What's your announcement?
Oh, I'm going to be working with them the night before.
What do you mean working with them?
Okay, so they're coming to a convention in New York. I don't know if they have those in Canada.
Oh shit! Oh my God. Oh no, you don't shame Bill that, man.
Yeah.
That was just a deep burn.
That was not a deep burn. I didn't ask what
That's like putting your hand in the poutine grease.
Oh, no. If I asked what a convention was, then that was a set, that was a great burn, but I didn't ask that. Did I?
No,
Well, I don't know.
There's going to be a moment when you just.
That was an unnecessary shot, Kimmy. Unnecessary.
Kyle was
I asked a
genuinely
simple
interested.
question.
Yeah.
I was generally interested and asked what you were doing, and you threw a shot for no reason. So that's
no,
where you got the bell.
You did kick him right square in the maple leaf. But
How am I supposed to? There's wrestling conventions in Canada. I don't live.
wrestling, there's a lot of wrestlers from Canada, so you have to
I'm
put two and two
aware.
together.
I
But the
didn't
big
know.
event, so I'll be the dad here for a second. The big event is a huge autograph signing type convention that happens in Long Island every year.
Queens.
Well, it's part of Long Island, sort of, kind of. It's a borough, but it's on the island. You know it is. Don't lie to me.
I know.
Nice.
Geography. I graduated college, but it's yeah, it's a big deal. So for you working there, congratulations, because that is a huge event. It's
Thank you.
a big event. But so that was my thing where I was wondering about the Good Brothers. I'm like, they're going to be in New York the night before. They got to come back to Florida. They got to clear a whole bunch of tests.
Well, they were actually also supposed to be at another convention the next day in Albany, but they had to cancel because they moved the date to Revolution to March 7th. So they had to cancel that appearance. But they said, I believe they're going on a flight directly to Jacksonville after the convention's over. That is
Intel.
By the way,
Inside
breaking news.
intel.
Breaking
Intel.
inside intel. Breaking news, guys.
Kimmy, this is why you're here. But please, for our friend Richie and everyone, was it East Coast Hawks or everyone involved in that? Plug the event.
So if you're in the New York area, go to big event at the Marriott Hotel. The Paul White is also going to be there. He is the big featured guest. The Good Brothers are going to be there. Gianna Peraza is going to be there, and a bunch of other people. And if you're there, come say hi to me, the Good Brothers, and Richie, I guess, RDP Promotions.
Sounds so exciting. I really want to know what a convention is, because I somehow don't know.
He says the guy who's been to like 3 Starcasts.
It's the same thing as StarCast.
Oh, is that what a
Basically.
convention is? Oh.
Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna throw some cold water on the heat over here. For me, I love the fact this is a casino battle royale. So we're gonna get the groups of teams. I'm very excited for Bear Country because we've seen them. I remember when Bear Bronson was in Russell Pro as Bear Beefcake or something like that. He was like one of like he was like some silly gimmick in there, but he's a creative pro guy. So yeah, I'm stoked for them to be on pay-per-view. Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison with one of the great leaps of all time over the top ropes. But for me, Pac and Phoenix, it's going to be Pac and Phoenix, man. They are just like, I know they were just put together, but if the Bucks retain, that would be a hell of a match right there. And I think the Bucks are going to retain, but yeah, I'm going to go Pac and Ray Phoenix because those guys are on an utter tear right now.
Very good. Kyle, did we get you on this one? Not yet, right?
Not yet.
I just wanted to like kind of
Good move.
It's okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Papa Bear.
All right.
I do.
Take it away,
Papa
Kyle.
Bear Mountain.
So,
Here I am.
I like the concept of the casino tag team battle royal. Like, it's a very, very Royal Rumble type concept where there's 2 teams in the ring that get determined by a lottery, and every 90 seconds a new team enters in until eliminations go over the top rope. Both members have to go over the top rope, not just one. And then the last team standing or one person from the team standing wins the match. It's a really cool concept. As for the match itself, with the winners receiving a AEW Tag Team Championship match, my pick actually connects to another match in the card. I'm picking Proud and Powerful to win because this will have influence on the actual tag team title match later on when I make that prediction. So I'm just going to simply end it there and say Proud and Powerful are going to win this match.
Very interesting. I'm going to boomerang this thing right back to you. We'll go right into the tag title match. Why not? Let's do it. This is a tough one for me, which I like about AEW is a lot of these are tough for me. Boomeranging it right back to you, Kyle. You got some theories here.
So
Captain Boomerang.
Yeah. As for this match itself, the feud has been good over the last couple of weeks. It really wasn't clear what the tag team title picture was going to be like beforehand. There was 2 stories going on. We had the We had the Inner Circle story going on about all the breakups and MJF and Sammy. Then you had the Young Bucks with the Good Brothers, which kind of everyone thought, myself included, that we were going to get Young Bucks and Good Brothers at the pay-per-views. Maybe it was going to be titles for titles or put both in the line or something. And then we finally got the conclusion out of that. But 2 stories going into this match are either going to play a factor in this match. Are the Good Brothers going to play a factor into this match? Is Sammy going to come back and play a factor in this match? He's been kind of MIA for the last couple of weeks. So Sammy Guevara has beef still with what's going on with MJF and Jericho. Is he going to do something here? The match will be great. I think Bucks will obviously be carrying most of the match with MJF and Jericho. They're still great, but the Bucks are going to make it great because they're probably going to want to not do and replicate what we got last year, because nothing's going to replicate that tag team match we got in Revolution next year. But they're still going to try to make it a great match. Nevertheless, I want to see, I wrote this down. I just want to see Papa Buck come back and do a super kick. Just want to see him do a super kick. Do something like a revenge.
He's going to blow a quad doing that.
I don't care if it fails and he falls down. I just want to see it. Anyways, I'm picking MJF and Jericho to win the tag team belts because that plays into the casino battle royale of Proud and Powerful, which continues the deception between Inner Circle and Proud and Powerful. I have as eventually winning the belts off of Jericho and MJF, and then going, separating themselves from Inner Circle and going on a run that they deserve, because they've been here since day 1 of Dynamite, right? Actually, no, they debuted at All Out, I believe it was, before Dynamite. And
yeah, they were.
People have been waiting since then for them since they came in. They were a freaking hot free agent tag team to come in. And when they finally came in, that was a big thing. And, we really haven't seen them. Like we saw them in the beginning of AEW have a couple of great matches, but since then they kind of just been in the background of Inner Circle, right? They haven't really been sticking out. I think they really need to have that well-deserved title run. So I'm kind of sticking with that and going in that direction. So I have MJF, Jericho winning the tag team belts off of the Young Bucks by the Good Brothers, costing them and continuing their feud. Now, we talked about this on the All Elite podcast prediction show. What if this creates this revolving door that's been open now for people to go elsewhere? What if this causes the Young Bucks to cross over into Impact now?
Which they want to do.
Yeah, which feud with the Good Brothers, and they feud with the other teams over there. And we get the Young Bucks over in Impact for a bit, doing stuff after this.
Like that, Kyle. Very, very well said. This one was tough for me. Like I said earlier, I'm also going to go MJF and Jericho. I just love everything that they're doing together. Their chemistry has gotten better. I was a fan of the Dinner Debonair. That was great. I'm hoping for another musical number more than anything. More than the gold, I want more of those musical numbers. I thought it was fantastic. Their segment on Dynamite was fantastic. I really like them. I think the Bucks having to fight the Good Brothers, yeah, we all see it. But the belts, obviously, like, it doesn't have to be like champions versus champions. There's no need for that. It's just a feud in itself. I like what you're saying about the Bucks being more involved on Impact. I'm all about building bridges and like not knocking each other down. So this is really, really cool. It's a lot of wins for the talent. I would like to see MJF and Jericho get those titles, and that's just like another title in AEW that Jericho can get. So I'll go that way. Kimmy, do you think it's going to be MJF and Jericho as well? Or are you going with the Young Bucks?
Young Bucks super kick party. I feel like it's too like, I'm going to sound so stupid, but I feel like it's too soon. Wow. Okay, Kyle. Okay, I know it's going to sound stupid. I just feel like it's too soon for them to lose with just the established tag team they are. And I just want to see them lose to a younger talent. And I know MJF is young. I'm not saying that, but I don't want to see him lose to Jericho. I would rather them lose to a Silver or a Reynolds or FTR down the line again. I don't want to see them lose to an established star like Jericho. I think Sammy is going to come back. I think we're going to do all that, and we're going to implode, and the Inner Circle is going to go bye-bye.
That's very, very fair. And more importantly, I think the main event should be Kimmy versus Kyle, Shane Bell on a ladder match. We'll save that for the next
agree.
Yeah. But Bill, do you agree with it being the Young Bucks?
I do, because I think Sammy is going to come back, and I think he's going to cost Jericho and MJF. there was actually a very cool point made by, I believe, Tiffany on the All Elite podcast. Was like, what if one of the TBD teams is Sammy and somebody?
Oh yeah, she said Wardlow.
I actually love that.
I can't. I don't know what it is. I can't.
It
makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a guy who's been kind of on the bench for a long time with AEW.
I do like that.
Cody Rhodes on the media call we were on, which I sat silent for an hour, was saying how great Wardlow is. Not for you, Kyle. It's no good on you. It's just like, come on, guys. I had a great question. And
something like mine because it didn't report it, so that's all I'm going to say.
Which is ridiculous. It was actually a really good question.
Best
because he like talked about the Crockett Cup, and I'm like, just do the fucking Crockett Cup at AEW. But whatever. It's just a man can dream, and that man is me. But I think Sammy coming in with a partner, and if it was Wardlow, oh my god, I'd so be stoked for it. But I do think Sammy's going to end up costing him. This match is Shenanigans Incorporated. Good Brothers are going to be involved. A lot of people are going to be involved. Papa Buck will be involved. Mama Buck will be involved. The Kid Bucks will be involved. No, I hope not. But
they're so cute on DT this week.
They are. Brandon Cutler is going to get involved. Hager, like everyone's getting involved. Sammy Hagar is going to come out. He's going to sing a song, and it's just like, what's going on here? But I think the Bucks do retain because. Well, I can see. I'm not ruling out a Jericho MJF win because they do need something, but I feel like we need to break up the inner circle, and I feel like Sammy and Jericho or Sammy and MJF are headed for a double or nothing match, not a tag team match. I think it's a singles match, and that's where I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to go Young Bucks.
That's very, very fair. It's hard to argue that. And I shout to Tiff, but I think that actually really is a good point.
I never Tiff because if you don't, you son of a bitch, you're going to beat.
Yeah, I mean, the usual story of my life. But I think that's a really good point. Like, now that I think about that, like, no one would really see it coming. Like, I wouldn't have seen it coming if you guys said that. But like Wardlow, man, they backburned the crap out of him. And like, it's almost like WandaVision with that slow reveal. Like, man, that would be amazing. Like him just kind of turning on MJF and being with Sammy. I like that.
That would be an amazing tag team.
I like that. Yeah, that's great. But just that moment in itself, that's very good. Shout to Tiff on that one. Let's move along here. Let's talk about a match that was one of the first matches announced, the street fight with Darby Allin and Sting, who's looking pretty good in the ring, taking on Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Man, this should be a really, really good one. I saw a signing with Brian Cage recently. He was talking about doing that spot with Sting, man. And he said, he didn't get in his head too much. He just went out there and did his thing. And I thought everything looked great. I think it came off fantastic. Bill, I'll throw it to you first, because I know you kind of had mixed thoughts about Cage on our last show. I think he's been killing it, and working with Sting's been great. Has your tune kind of changed with Brian Cage?
No, I always have been a Brian Cage fan. I just feel like we haven't found the right place for him in AEW yet.
Okay.
I don't feel like he's hit a groove yet. Honestly, I know it's Sting. They've told me it's Sting. It's Sting. I was a little Stinger back in the day in 1989.
Were you a surfer Stinger?
Oh God, yes, I was a surfer Stinger, dude. Come on. First time I ever saw Sting, Ric Flair, Sting versus Muta and Dick Slater, Clash of Champions, 89. Come on now. Old as fuck. But it's I'm
young as fuck. Can I know that?
I mean, I saw it live,
okay.
But on TV. But I don't think they should win. I think Team Taz should win, because here's the thing, and I think Kimmy, I have an explanation for this. Don't think I'm just going to end it there. Is Tony Khan on the All Elite podcast said Darby Allin has to defend the TNT title against the winner of the Face of the Revolution ladder match this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. And even if he cannot make the match due to injury or he's not unable to compete, the title will be forfeited to the winner, which to me denotes whether Darby makes it or not, he's dropping the strap. I think it is time for Darby. I think you're going to see a number of talents from AEW after this pay-per-view be cycled out. I think Jon Moxley is one of those people. I think Darby Allin and Sting are those people, because you're signing all these new people. You have this new signing. You have Paul White. You have a lot of people you've added. It makes sense to give people time off in order to make other people
If you don't have the second show yet, you're kind of.
This is something AEW has said since the beginning. What they wanted to do pre-pandemic was, okay, we're going to have these people. Hey, someone wants to take time off. Chris Jericho wants to go tour. We have people who can take your spot. And then when you come back, you'll have your spot. And I think we've seen Sting every single week, just in interviews. For him to come out, have a really great match, like the street fight, which is perfect for a guy who is limited in the ring. And, you know, he's in his 60s. He's had a major spinal injury, and he's got a lot of wear and tear on him. So why not have them lose? Because they lose. Like, Sting isn't losing anything by losing the street fight. Team Taz needs to win. They need to stay hot, especially Starks, in my opinion, because everyone from AEW is like, Starks is the man. He's the future. So it's not going to shock me if Sting and Darby win, but it would be great if they lost. They get decimated. And then 3 months down the road, they make their comeback. And there it is. And boom, it's Sting. Because you need the element of surprise with Sting.
He's been here every week.
He's there. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And you guys said that on the AP
so much snow.
Listen, I don't mind the snow, just because it annoys people so much.
Jacksonville is useless.
It gets snow sometimes, from what I've heard. But anyway, it's just like, give them time off, cycle them out, get other people on there, heat up Team Taz, because they have been, running with their tail between their legs a lot in this feud. So I think I'm going to go Team Taz with this one. I know it's not the popular pick, but if you need guys who are going to win, that's a hell of a way to do it. Would it shock me if Darby and Sting won? No. But Darby, I think he's dropping that TNT title.
Really good stuff, Bill. I'm going to go the other way.
When you talk AEW, I actually have really good points. When you talk to other stuff, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, says the guy.
It up.
Says the guy who had perfect Royal Rumble picks, but I digress.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that was a mistake. That was pure luck.
But anyway, I'm gonna, I'm a huge Team Taz guy for a lot of reasons. I like Cage a lot. I like Starks.
Hook.
I like Taz.
I like Hobbs.
Yeah, right there it is. But I would love to see them win, but I don't think it's gonna go that way. And I'll be happy if it does. But the way Sting went in WWE, I think you need to kind of show that you're not going to just have him lose. Like, I understand the whole putting over and all that kind of stuff and passing the torch, but I don't want to see Sting come in after all this and lose. It puts a bad taste in my mouth just because of what had happened elsewhere. And I know that's not necessarily a good reason, but what did he have? 3 matches on WWE? Like what, Seth, Trips, whatever it was. Oh, there's your guy, Seth. Of course, Kenny.
That WrestleMania match. Oh, he should have won it. He should have won. There was no reason Triple H should have won that match.
Yeah. But my point exactly. And I think for a lot of reasons, this is the first match announced. It was, Sting and Darby. I see them winning this one, but I do agree moving forward. I do see Darby losing the strap, and we'll talk about that ladder match next. Kimmy.
So you just took everything I was going to say.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll go deeper.
Great minds
think alike here. But the reason I agree with everything Bill said, I think it makes perfect sense. But the whole reason Sting came to AEW was because he was frustrated with his WWE run. And we saw him lose every single match, including Rollins. So why would he come? Okay, not Rollins' fault that Sting got a boo-boo, but
there's a lot of debate about that one.
I know. I don't like talking about it. It gets me sad. Anyway, so I feel like Sting did not sign an AEW contract to lose. He didn't. I agree that he's going to put over younger talent and like he's going to help Darby out a lot, but I feel like he didn't sign an AEW contract just to be like, yeah, I'm going to lose all of my matches and yeah, I'm going to do it for more money than Fitz is offering me. So yeah. So I'm going to go with Darby and Sting. But another point I want to make is there was talk in the beginning, like, was this going to be cinematic?
Mm-hmm.
is it going to be cinematic, or are we actually going to do this live?
Half and half, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, you start Sting. I mean, that's the thing. Right? You think about what Sting showed he could do in the ring against Ricky Starks, showed what he could do against Cage. I think you see part of that match happen in the arena. And then when you go to the back, that's when everything looks really crisp and really cinematic.
Yeah, flip the switch.
All of a sudden, it's like, wow, everything's in shot on 35 millimeter film.
Things
and
got
4K.
different paint now. Whoa.
Yeah. Kyle, take us home on this match.
His hair is blonde.
Why is he in NWO Wolfpack gear now?
He's wearing red gloves. He's got the TNA title. This is weird.
Anyways, again,
not Lex Luger.
Like we just said, not a lot of news if whether this is going to be cinematic or not. Like everyone knew that for sure. Like when it was Sammy and Matt Hardy, that was going to be cinematic as hell because everything broke out that Matt Hardy was putting all sorts of money into it and all that stuff. This one, we literally don't know. All we've gotten was Sting's cleared. You know, he took a power bomb. That's all we got. We don't know if it's going to be full cinematic, full match. I like the idea of half and half, like first starting out in the ring. They make their way to the back, whether it be through the curtain or if they go through that place that Moxley likes to come out of a lot now, or they come out of the side parking lot where FTR made their debut. They have a lot of places to get to the back from. But I imagine it's somewhere we're out of the view of the fans because there'll be a lot there. So curtain makes the most sense. So half cinematic, half actual match makes a lot of sense. Feud was so slow in the beginning. Like I was waiting for weeks for them to do something because they were doing the same crap every single week. Is the Sting coming out every single week with the Cody-like entrance with all the cinematic crap and then the pyro. It was just like, okay, like what are we doing here? Like give us something. And then they started doing more. They did the different things. They did the body bag with Darby Allin in the parking lot. Then they started doing the zip line thing, like these where I'm like, okay, now they're picking it up and now I'm invested in this. This was what we were looking for. But the whole thing with Sting showing up every single week, it lost its aura. It should have been like he should have showed up at Winter is Coming, did one thing with Darby, and then we didn't see him up until like 2 weeks from now or 2 weeks ago.
I agree.
They should have just kept it with Darby and Sting. Maybe like they keep beating down on Darby and Sting's just watching from the rafters like he used to do in WCW and not doing anything. And then you wait until 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. That's when Sting comes down and helps Darby. Maybe it would have been Sting coming down on the zip line and helping Darby. That would have been dicey, but it would have been, would have made for great television and made this feud go nuts. But it still should be a good and entertaining match. Still looking forward to it. I'm going to stick with what I said on my podcast. I can't see Sting taking the L, his first match in AEW. I have Sting and Darby going over, but the question is, what's going on with Darby? Why would Tony Khan come out in the podcast and say something like if Darby can't compete after the street fight, does this mean Darby's actually injured? And is this match going to be fully cinematic to accommodate that injury? And then, Darby's going to have to maybe forfeit the belt, or if he's not injured enough to have some sort of half-ass match on Dynamite where he drops the belt that way and that's how he gets sent away. Like they do something.
I can see it like like what they did with Brody Lee and Cody.
Yeah.
Like do that squash and everyone's like, holy, did not see this coming.
Yeah. So that's the main question I have going into this. Like what's going on with Darby? Why did Tony Khan come out in the podcast and give us this ultimatum with Darby? Something's going on here. So that just makes me think that Darby's either actually hurt or this is a planned time off and they're doing some sort of injury angle. So, but
good.
I'm sticking with Sting and Darby.
That's great. Very in depth. Looking at this from all angles. You guys know, I am too, man. trying to be that professional journalist, but I think it's important to be a mark, man. It's important. We're all fans, man. We do it because we love it, man. And I think that's important too. But let's keep it moving here. Let's talk about where we're going to go. Let's go to this ladder match. What do you guys think? Should we get to that one?
Yeah, the face.
The face of the Revolution ladder match.
Brass rings.
Cody Rhodes taking on Scorpio Sky versus Penta versus Lance versus Max Caster versus another TBA. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. I'm going Scorpio Sky, plain and simple. He's been just killing it as long as AEW's been a thing. I'm seeing a lot of those commercials with that new podcast. He's on the commentary. He was killing it on Dark for a while. Obviously separated himself from SEU. I just think it's going to be Scorpio Sky. Anyone else think it's Scorpio Sky?
I'm just gonna say my pick is whatever Bill's about to say.
No, you're not.
Whoa, best friends.
Because we talked about it.
Okay, so I have a couple theories on this. There's a couple ways that we can go.
Okay, it'll be one of those.
So the first one, which is what I mentioned to Kyle, is if it's not someone new. Although I have listened since I talked to Kyle, I've heard different things that this is going to be someone new. But if not, it will be Miro. Kimmy, like, I don't know. Are you cheering silently right now? Okay, you don't. This is an audio podcast. It was really freaking me out.
She's being respectful. Because
I didn't want to interrupt you because I agree with Kyle on his
trust me. I covered bars for 10 years. I could talk over anyone. Problems. And so it's like, if it's going to be someone in AEW, I think Miro would be great, because I think he should, even if his team loses, I would love to see, based on the promo he had on Dynamite, where he's like, if everyone wants me to be the serious savage Miro, I'll talk Bulgarian and I'll show you what I can do. It would be great for him to come out and just rip everyone in half, and then when we get injured Darby, he just breaks Darby in half, and then we just don't see Darby for a while. And Miro goes on this run that we've all hoped for him to have, because frankly, hasn't been used great in AEW.
Face of TNT, like he's got a well-known, established already face.
And of course, according to Tony Khan, he's the king of the boys. He's the king of the
king
brothers.
Of the boys.
King of the boys. But if it's going to be someone new, the theory on that is there's two guys I have in mind, and both come from the Great White North. One is All Ego Ethan Page, one of my personal favorites, played by Julian.com himself. I was certain for a long time, I was like, he's definitely going to AEW. And then all of a sudden he's like closing everything down. I'm like, oh, I guess he's going to NXT now. Not in the NXT class. So, man, he would be great to see in there. I think he'd be an amazing addition to AEW. Already has an established history with Darby Allin, where he literally put him in a body bag, power bombed him into a steel pole in a building, saw it happen, beat the crap out of him with a shovel.
I saw this.
Yeah, those were insane. The other person from the Great White North who it possibly could be, and I would love it to happen, Speedball Mike Bailey, has been name dropped on AEW Dynamite before. His USA ban is lifted. His fiance Veda Scott did call the women's tag team tournament. Having him come in, and if Veda's coming with him, that would be amazing. I know. But if it's Ethan Page, I think he costs Cody the match, because there is a long history between Cody and Ethan. However, there's another option I don't think that's been put on the table, and I don't think anyone's talked about this, and here's Bill's Whiskey Fueled theory that is not going to happen. So on Dynamite, something people didn't talk about, there were four fingers thrown up between Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, J.J. Dillon, FTR, Sean Spears. Who is somebody that Tully Blanchard tried to recruit? Who is someone who talked a lot of trash about Cody Rhodes on commentary this week, and someone who needs a new character, and someone who could easily be the face of TNT? That's Scorpio Sky. I would love to see Scorpio Sky, because everyone's like Cody for it's like Tony, that band from the 90s. But if you have Scorpio Sky as the head of this New Age Horseman, you bring his real life girlfriend Alex Gracia in as his manager, as his valet, as the woman who runs the show. I think you have a really good original faction, and I would love to see it, because I think Scorpio Sky is an undisputed star. That is my pick for the ladder match.
Grab those brass rings.
And I'm telling you, that fourth guy is going to be Scorpio Sky.
Wow.
Pick.
Which obviously means it's not going to happen.
Kyle, go ahead, Kyle. I know Kimmy wants to jump in too.
I mean, the TBA, I like the Miro thing because I gave credit to Bill on the podcast because I really enjoyed that pick, and now I want it because I'm exactly like what Miro said on his promo this week, that he's like, all the fans been wanting to see like the dominant Miro since I stepped in here, like the no more games Miro, and I'm one of those people. And he's like, you're gonna get it starting this Sunday with Orange Cassidy and Chuck. You know, he's yelling in Bulgarian, he's more aggressive, so that would be sweet for him to pull a double duty and get into the ladder match and, you know, get those brass rings. And then, you know, what Bill said, break Darby in half, send him packing, and then going on this dominant run with the TNT belt. He's a well-known face. People know who Rusev was, so he's going to get over with the TNT belt. So it just sucks because Miro with a full crowd is a lot more over than Miro with this kind of crowd. So hopefully eventually when they do get back to normal and travel again, we're going to see Miro be way more over than we imagine, because they're going to go to those crowds. They're going to be nuts, like those NXT type crowds. And you're going to hear Miro Day for like the entire damn night, and you know that's going to get him over. So as for this match, though, I'm very excited to see who the TBA is. If it's Ethan Page, that's amazing. Can't wait. I still picked Miro as my pick, but I would love Scorpio Sky to win. Scorpio Sky needs a TNT belt, and to bring that TNT belt into that faction now, that's what Bill said. Damn, man, that would be sweet to see. Like if we're getting a new horseman, especially with my boy Sean Spears now back, because I'm all for this now. I was for it before, but now I'm even more because Sean Spears is there. So
I mean, there is a path for Cody to be involved in it. I mean,
Yeah.
He did say if he wanted to challenge for the world title, that would be the easiest heel turn of all time. And what better way for him to do that than with these guys who he all has a relationship with?
There's a couple roadblocks in Cody's way. There's two, actually. Baby and next season of the Go Big Show. Because the current one was filmed last year, so they're going to film the next one this year.
It's very popular.
Very good stuff, guys. Really good. And we know we'll bunch these together so we don't have to go all the way around again. But Kyle, going back to you, man. Obviously, Miro.
Whoa.
You forgot me?
No. I didn't forget you, Kimmy. I'm just bunching them together so we don't have to do another round. I didn't. Of course, Kimmy, I would never, please.
I was sad.
No Kimmy Kazoo for me. But real quick, I just wanted to get this in here too, because we've been mentioning Miro a lot. Miro and Kip obviously taking on Orange Cassidy and Chuck. Real quick. Kyle, who's winning that match as well?
I mean, I said on my podcast, this is like the least exciting match that I was looking forward to out of all the matches. It really didn't bother me. I really couldn't care less because there's been effort into this feud, but not enough effort for me to care. It kind of ended at the wedding. After that, it was just, okay, what are you guys doing? Like, stop it. So, you know, I was curious. Maybe Trent makes an appearance. Maybe he doesn't. He's been injured. We haven't seen him in a while. It'd just be cool to add some pay-per-view flair, but this is obviously being used as the cool down match wherever they're going to slot this. But just because I want to see Miro separate from Kip, I hope Orange Cassidy and Chucky win.
Yeah, it's very tricky, man. I can see this if things run long. This one gets scrapped. No disrespect. Kimmy, your thought?
It won't.
Kimmy,
they don't scrap matches. I'm gonna go Miro.
Yeah.
By the way, for that match.
There you go. Of course you are, because interview on the popbreak.com. Shameless promo. Kimmy. There it is. Kimmy, your thoughts on both of these matches?
So I think Kyle's going to like my pick for the ladder because my TBA is his boy, Sean Spears.
Wow.
Ooh.
New best friends? New best friends?
No way.
Wow.
Nah.
But why
Bill
not?
is irreplaceable. It's not happening.
True. It's true.
But I feel like what a great TBA for someone who just came back. Like, that would be perfect. Put him right here, have him win, go for, I'm not saying to win the TNT title, but, you know, have him do something because he was doing nothing for so many freaking months.
You've been trying to grab those brass rings in WWE. Might as well do it in AEW.
Exactly. So I think it should be Sean Spears. If not, I'll go with Ethan Page. I think the TBA is definitely winning. I would like to see Sky, but it depends what he's doing. I don't know what they're going to do with him. As for this tag team match, it needs to go. Like, I'm done with this feud. It's ridiculous. Like,
No.
It's ice cold.
I don't care. I don't care about Kip. I don't care about the best friend. Do something reasonable.
Hey, do not besmirch the name of Orange Cassidy.
Okay, not Orange Cassidy, but like just the feud in general. I have my kazoo. I'm not scared to use it, Kyle.
I saw the bell. I saw the bell for a second.
But I'm going to go with Cassidy and Chuck, sorry, so we can get this thing over with.
Wow, Kyle's using a lot of restraint right now, but no, Kimmy, you did a great. Oh, she's got the Kimmy kazoo. This is going to get interesting, guys. But yeah, this match, it's interesting because we thought we were going to see some big Orange versus Miro feud, and again, not coming full circle like I keep saying. No disrespect, but this is going to be interesting, and I like what you guys are saying about Miro moving forward. I really wouldn't know how to. I'll go Orange and Chuck on that one. It's tricky for me. I really am unsure. But let's move on. Let's go to the women's title match. I don't know who you guys had winning the tournament, but we have Shida, who I'm a fan of.
Not Ryu Mizunami.
No, you don't think so?
No, I didn't have her winning the tournament. I don't think anyone had her winning the tournament.
No. Wait, Kyle, did you?
Nope.
Okay, I thought
Britt Baker, baby.
That's right. That's what we
I
had.
had Yuka.
Okay.
I had Yuka Sakazaki.
Sorry, I lied. I had Maki Ito before she lost.
Yeah, and
well, I think the world had it all in our hearts was Maki Ito.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say Shida retains here. It should be a really great match. I just want to know when Chris gets back. I say that every show.
She's a few months out. She said she's going to announce when she's coming back.
Oh, is she?
She said that. She's like, I'll let you know when I'm ready.
I wouldn't doubt if they did like a vignette style thing. They haven't done one of those yet.
They're not rushing her back.
Yeah, that's very.
Nor should they.
Well, injury wise, nor should they, but storyline wise, that she would be quite an asset. I feel. I thought
she would. If they were going to bring her back for storyline, it would have made sense with Penelope. Like Miro, Kip, and Penelope versus Chuck, Orange, and Chris.
That
would have worked, but I don't think she's not. I don't think they're not going to rush her back because they have big things for her.
Yeah,
oops, everyone at ringside.
Yes, we have that picture of her booping Nunes and and she was fantastic. What an interview! But that's very like her to be like, look, I'm just gonna tell you when I'm coming back. She keeps it very real. I respect it. Does anyone see Shida losing here? Does anyone want to add something to this? No disrespect to the match or anything.
Of course, I always have something to add to everything with AEW. So this was tying into what I was talking about with the tag match. Is a lot of people are not happy with the fact Ryu Mizunami, who was like this underdog, who most people just kind of wrote off as the losing to Maki Ito in the first round.
Yeah,
why is she in this tournament? The purpose of this women's eliminator tournament, in my opinion, was to awaken American audiences to the Joshi talent that will be coming to AEW. This is going to be akin to 1995, 1996, when ECW, then WCW, brought in the luchadors from AAA.
Hey, documentary.
Exactly. They are going to bolster the women's division, and this is a great way to introduce them to that talent. And so Britt Baker is already over. She doesn't need the title to be over. She really doesn't. But that doesn't mean I don't think she'll have that title very soon, because what I think will happen is that the faction I was talking about with Britt, and that I think that's going to be coming, I feel like post-match, when Shida wins, Britt and Fam are going to come out and wreak some havoc, allowing Shida and her super team, which would probably be Thunder, Ryu, and whomever from the Joshi. And we're going to see this kind of factional war between these two.
Please let it be Yuka.
And well, again, this is
I want to hear that entrance again.
Normal times, I would say yes, but pandemic, travel restrictions. But I think we will see Britt Baker with that title at Double or Nothing or All Out. Whatever is going to have the most people involved, like attending, that's when Britt Baker's going to win the title. This is going to be the jump off to Britt Baker's run for the title. This post match, I really think that's going to happen. Whether it's at that show or at Dynamite, I think Britt and her squadron are going to make something happen here.
A lot of faction talk here. I feel like there's almost too many. Yeah, exactly. I almost feel like
it's what happens in Japan. It's what happens in a lot of territories and stuff like that. So it makes sense.
There you go. All right. And does anyone have anything to add? Kimmy, Kyle, anything on this?
I had a question for everybody.
Sure.
Speaking of Bay Bay, do we think that'll eventually happen in AEW Bay Bay?
Well, next week he is versing Finn Balor for the NXT title.
Not
I don't
anytime
think.
soon. I'm saying.
No, I
eventually.
know. I'm going to go. Let me go
Okay.
with my.
Let the theory ride, man.
Let me go.
Let it breathe.
I think based on past BTE stuff, it would
dead.
be. But they could resurrect him. You know, they've been talking.
Christopher Daniels.
Exactly. Some people died on BTE and have resurrected out of nowhere. So I think at some point down the line, but I think Adam's doing a lot of stuff in NXT and WWE. His heel turn right now is phenomenal. I really hope he beats Balor next week. But I'm a big Bay fan. So
it depends on what his contract status really is, because I thought he had re-signed.
It's so hidden. It's so hidden.
He re-signed for like a couple of years. So like maybe he does, because there are many people in NXT, and I'm not taking shots at NXT. I'm just saying a lot of people have hit a ceiling there.
Yeah,
where it's just like
it's a bunch of people.
There has to be some movement to Raw or SmackDown for some people, because it's just like you keep staying at this one level, and where can you? Was that? No, I know no one
wants to.
But you got to do something. There has to be some cycling in and out.
All his friends are here. That's why I say it. All his his real friends are in AEW, and you don't think that they talk all. He's there every time they have a get together, right? You always see a picture of him there.
I think and if he has a 3-year deal in AEW, I think will still be around 3 years. I think you could see Adam Cole.
That was the rumor, because that was it signed now, or that people were saying, oh no, that was signed 2 years ago.
Hey, listen. If he shows up in 2022, that would make a heck of a lot of sense, because there are contracts coming up. Jericho's contract is up at the end of this year, I think. And really? I think he signed through 2021. You know, I'm sure he'll re-up or something like that. But I mean, it's just at the end of the day, like we have to look at AEW differently, as not just like, oh, they're just here for this amount of time. We have to consider the long run with them, because they're doing very well.
Absolutely. Good stuff.
Elevations for. They're here for the long
I have
run.
so many thoughts on that, and I'm so excited for it.
Absolutely, guys.
Can't wait till Mance Warner shows up there. It'd be great.
Should we take it to the main event here? Have I missed anything like I usually do?
You usually miss stuff, but
no, I think you're good. I think the only match we have is the exploding barbed wire death match.
There it is. That's right. I mean, I can't do a better lead into that. That was phenomenal, Kimmy. And of course, that's for the AEW World title. Mox is obviously back in the title picture. But to Bill's point, I will say, and maybe this will be Shenanigans City. I don't think so, though. To Bill's point, I think Mox is going to have some downtime, and for all the right reasons. I think that's great. You know, former wrestler of the year. I thought it should have been Adam Cole, but no disrespect.
Of course you do.
Yeah, but baby. But I think Mox is going to take some time off here, and just for outside of the ring stuff and all the right reasons. Congrats to them, obviously. You know, I don't think we see Omega, you know, losing.
So I'm gonna take over hosting duties for a second. Rob, now you didn't watch ECW. I doubt you watched FMW.
FMW, oh man.
So. And I know you've had some experience with death matches.
Yes,
mostly
on the indies.
Mostly because Tiff is like, oh God, you got to look at light tubes.
Yeah, stay away from the light tubes.
Now the queen of the light tube is what I call
Queen
it.
of the light tubes. The lady of light tubes is what you should call it.
Oh, yeah, the lady of
alliteration. That's what I'm good for. English degree.
Thank you.
So Rob, how do you feel about an exploding barbed wire death match?
I think it's the marquee. I think it's a headline. I think it's different. It's something that it's like, we're going to go here. And we saw the match with them before. This is going to be, you know, this is kind of my thing here. This is going to be next level, using it on commentary.
But are you excited for it?
I am very excited for it. Yeah, it's great. It's new for what we see on the national level. It's new. This is very indies, which I very much like about AEW. This is very deathmatch, which to me, I think there's a place for it. You know, I'm not all of that. I mean, I didn't want to get into it because I don't want to knock anyone. I think, you know, everyone has their different things, and they have their taste, and there's definitely a place for it. Some of my favorite matches that I've seen have been that style. So this will be crazy. This will bring some eyes to that style of wrestling, and I think that's a good thing for the indies as well, which I'm a big fan of. So, but again, going back to my original point, Omega retains here. I would have said that anyway. Mox take some time off. Let's throw it to Kyle, man, because Omega's your guy.
Hi. Yes. I'm excited for this because Omega is my dude. Like I fucking love Kenny Omega. I can sit here and talk about Kenny Omega all freaking day, but I'm not going to because this would be an 8-hour podcast.
Yeah.
But this has been a great almost 2 year in the making feud. We know this stems all the way back from Double or Nothing 2019. Like this has been this has been one of AEW's best feuds since its inception. Like this has been, and I think it's going to be one of those feuds they can come back to as the years go on, and it's always going to be a great feud. This will probably be the halt in it for the time being, but they'll always come back to the Omega and Moxley. It's like the Rock, Stone Cold, or Gargano, Ciampa. This is this feud right here. And man, there's so much of it that plays into it. Like I remember I was at the Dynamite, the first ever one in Washington. Oh, wow. And that moment when Moxley appeared behind Omega, that camera shot, which was like the perfect camera shot ever. And then the feud, like that ignited their feud then. And then the whole like spot that was like kind of like in the arena or not, there's that weird like lounge setup. And then like Kenny goes through gets paradigm shifted through the glass table. But man, this has just been an exciting feud. One of the feuds for the ages. We now know it's confirmed because I was bringing this up on my podcast for the last couple of weeks. Like, I want to know how far into the death match category they're going to go. Are they going to go all the way full CZW, or are they going to do their version of a death match? Like we had the unsanctioned match, and we got way more than what we were going to get in an unsanctioned match. We had like the barbed wire bed and all that crazy shit. Like Omega, I thought died because he pulls off a Phoenix splash and smacks his head off the wood panel. Like I'm like, oh, he's dead. He's got to be dead. Anyways, we do now confirm that there will be no ropes. It's literally going to be physical barbed wire, like legit barbed wire death match style of a match. They mentioned landmines 2 weeks ago. I still don't know what the hell that's going to mean.
I do.
You do, obviously. I don't know if they're going to go that way. I think I saw a clip. And then whatever this Moxley Chamber of Death that Callis has and Kenny are making, I'm curious to see what that looks like. I've seen a lot of people say that this might not actually take place in the arena. They might have a ring set up in the Jacksonville Stadium there, but I'm like, that just taken away from the 1,300 fans you're going to have there. They'd be pissed as hell to buy tickets to that event and not have it in the arena itself. There'll probably be some sort of break in between to set up because like you got to take the ropes out and they have something set up. There's got to be something set up somewhere where they can easily take the ropes down and something's going to go up with the barbed wire, right? Whether it be on the other side of the barricades or something, because that's a pretty tough setup to do in the amount of time between your co-main event and your main event, right? So something's got to happen, and you got to set up whatever the explosives are going to be, because wherever they're hiding that. Because if they're going to copy, there was the one video I watched because I didn't want to do my research with this. It was Terry Funk and somebody else. And I always forget who was it. It's
probably Onita.
Okay, and it was like at a outside stadium kind of exploding barbed wire death match. Stadium. Yeah, I watched that match, and my God, like every time someone got swung into the ropes, like explosion, and you could see the black explosion marks on their back, and I'm like, if we're getting this, oh my God, like people, I don't know if people are prepared for what they're about to see. Bill is, but like people that haven't watched this shit, they're going to, sorry if I swear, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but it's going to be insane. And I'm all for it. And obviously I'm picking my boy Kenny Omega to win here. This is going to send Moxley out. Obviously Renee is pregos. Who knows when we'll see Moxley again. It'll be a big return whenever he does come back. He'll heal up from a lot of probably nagging stuff because the guy puts himself through so much in his matches. You got to expect that he's a tough dude, but he's got to have some nagging injuries here and there. The guy's been wrestling for how long? And, even before WWE, he was in, you can go back and watch his CCW matches and you'd be like, how is this guy still walking? Like some of the matches he had in CCW, I watched a couple of them and I'm like, dude, how did you go from that to WWE? It was crazy. But this is going to be exciting. I can't wait for this.
Wow, very, very well said. And I know our good friend Kenny Pete will not be watching this match. But
dude, he's watching. I know he is.
Oh, is he? Okay. But Kimmy, let's start with you. Do you have any experience with any of the deathmatch stuff or anything like that?
Of course I do.
Stupid question.
So I've seen, it wasn't exploding death match. I think it was one of the time death matches where like at the count of 10, then the ring exploded. That's what I saw. I don't know who was in it, but I saw it.
Just always assume it's Onita.
It was at a very young age. I was like 10, 11 when I saw it. And I was like, what is this? This is crazy.
That's crazy.
Right.
I was raised right. Okay, I'll tell my dad when we're done with this. That
So your dad, he is an awesome dad.
Okay. So my thing is, and I'll go into like deathmatch experience as well, because I watch. Why are you quoting me? I really did see that match.
I actually don't even know why I did that. Go ahead.
So, obviously I watch, like my roommates, I forced them to watch wrestling with me. And I remember I was telling them about the pay-per-view Sunday, and my one friend goes, what the hell is an exploding barbed wire death match? And I'm like, that's the beauty of it. I really don't know. But, I also, going back to like the street fight too, I want to know how much of it is going to be cinematic and how much isn't. I don't know if everything's going to be real. Like, not that everything's going to be real. I know the explosion is going to be like, oh yay, explosion, fireworks, yay. I want to know how much of it is really going to be pre-taped, because the rumor was they were actually going to pre-record it on Saturday. I saw that floating around, that they were going to record it Saturday. So I don't know if that's still true or they just scrapped and they're like, oh, we'll do it live Sunday. Because like Kyle said, they have to replace the ropes. That's not a quick thing. You could obviously put the Paul White announcement here.
Too. The fan, like they're filling it with more people than they ever have. And do you know how much of a bad reaction they would get from the people in the building if they're sitting there watching it on the screen?
No, I'm aware, but I'm just saying from a logistics standpoint, what was already previously rumored, I understand how if I lived in Jacksonville, I did not see that match live, I'd be pissed and I'd be asking Tony for a refund. But Kenny obviously gets the win here. There's no way Moxley's winning, even though this is kind of his backyard and this is his match. Moxley, of course, is going to go on to have his wonderful baby girl with Renee, and we will see him probably at All Out in September.
Fantastic as always. Kimmy, Bill, take us home.
Oh, we took sunglasses off.
All the glasses are off for our audience.
So I have watched a lot of Japanese death matches in my day, especially getting those FMW VHS tapes that came out in the early 2000s before Kimmy was even born. So, and I've seen all sorts, and there's all sorts of crazy death matches. And this one, Tony Khan is an absolute wrestling nerd. He is going to go all out. We're going to get the countdowns. We're going to get the sirens. We're going to get the referee in the special gear. These guys are going to go bonkers. This is going to be, as Dusty Rhodes once said, violence for the sake of violence. This is going to be absolutely batshit crazy, and it has to take place on the football field because the classic Japanese death matches take place in big stadiums. The other thing from a practical standpoint is if you have all these explosions, you have to have, if you don't have barriers up for the fans, you do not want fallout from that. You do not want the liability of having it in a closed arena like that, in my opinion. Now, they're not dumb by any stretch of the imagination. Now, could they easily usher people in to into the stadium? Of course they could. But I do think this will take place in the stadium. This is going to be Moxley's swan song. Jon Moxley at this moment is one of the best promos in pro wrestling right now, bar none. No one's touching him. It's Jon Moxley, everyone else. I think this feud has been done wonderfully, but Kenny Omega is going on a very long, dominant run. And like Kyle said, this feud is something you can always come back to. He's like, I have now beaten Jon Moxley at the deathmatch game. And that's huge. And that's a sticking point. That's something you can come back to. This match, I've seen so many of these matches before. It's going to be fantastic. The fact they got Onita to do a promo about this match blew my mind. I was stoked to see it. These guys are going all out. Rob, your baby eyes are going to be weeping blood when you're watching this.
Yeah.
Weeping. You're going to be so like, what did I just see? And I'm going to just be so giddy knowing baby eyes with blood.
I think it's cool too because Kenny Omega is now dipping into that side of.
Supposedly this was one of his ideas.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, he wants to. He wants to be that guy. He's labeled as one of the best wrestlers in the world. If you're going to be the best wrestler in the world, he wants to prove that he can do it all. He can be the great mat wrestler. He can be the great hardcore guy. He can be the great deathmatch guy. He can do anything.
Flair did this. I mean, if you want to compare this to any feud, this is Ric Flair and Terry Funk. Yeah. This is the match you can go back to. That I Quit match was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life. Those two bled buckets against each other, or if you want to even say Flair and Dusty, blood was involved in those great feuds. And this is what that is. This is going to be Shenanigans Central, a great way to send off Mox and Renee, and also gives Moxley, when he wants to, can go to Japan as well for any sort of New Japan show. Yep. So this is going to be great.
Last title, yeah.
Kenny Omega, and since the Intercontinental title's not there, that U.S. title just became way more important. I'm saying this, man, it's going to be huge, and I still think at the end of that match, we're going to get some sort of reveal on who Kenny Omega's next opponent is, and that's the big signing.
CM Punk. See.
Lots of debut rumors here. Lots of returns.
By the way,
who knows what's going
they've added Wardlow to the graphic with Chris Jericho and MJF. Just letting you guys know.
Wow, they
doesn't
heard
mean
us.
he can't have.
That's a weird add-on. That's just, why would you just keep the same graphic? Why would you add Wardlow now?
They saw your podcast, man. That's what happened, bro. But guys, thank you so much for doing this. This is always a treat, in this crazy world, this crazy time we're living in, guys.
Rob's like, stop talking about Japanese death matches, Phil.
No, it really is a treat talking to you guys. This is great. Kyle, thank you for making the time. I know this is your second podcast of the night, and Kimmy and Kyle, hopefully you guys squash that feud one day. And we got to do the
forever. Fight forever.
I mean, it's a classic. It's one of my favorites. We'll see what happens moving forward. But guys, let's get that shameless promo out of the way. Kimmy, tell us a little bit. I guess we did the big event, but you can plug that again real quick. And Kimmy Talks Wrestling.
So this weekend, Good Brothers and the proud, not the Proud and Powerful. Wow, that was really bad.
No, you're busy. You work with everybody.
I know. I couldn't think of the other tag team we were working with. But big event. No. Hello. I have my kazoo and I'm not scared to use it. I saw you fixing the bell before, and I was eyeing you. I was like, "What is he doing? Why is he fixing that bell?" Hello.
It's actually loose. That's why I was fixing it. Too much shit.
But yeah, big event on Saturday. Come say hi. My predictions are going to be up tomorrow morning. I have to film them right after this. And with all your theories, I have new theories. So thanks, y'all.
Gotcha.
So make sure to check out my YouTube channel at Kimmy Talks Wrestling and check out my intro video, which is posted, which has over 100 views and features everybody on this podcast.
I love that video.
Thank you. Follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_WB and Instagram at Kimmy Talks Wrestling. And I hope y'all love Revolution as much as I will, because WWE doesn't know what they're doing. I booked the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view better than they did.
Wow. But no, Kimmy's been killing it. And I love that video you posted. A great song by a Canadian band, Simple Plan, who I enjoyed very much. Kyle.
That's not Simple Plan and great song. That's an oxymoron.
No, I knew that. I knew there was going to be an opinion there.
Hey, now.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll be the only guy to say
they're a really big band in Quebec.
Sure.
Kyle, tell us a little bit about the No Holds Barred Network, All Elite Pod, all that good stuff.
Well, my name is Kyle Masters. I host the All Elite podcast on the No Holds Barred Network. Our network is a more geared towards independent and AEW type podcast. Tiffany does a lot of independent wrestling interviews. She's done a lot with a lot of people that have actually moved on to NXT now, with like Blake Christian and Alex Zane. So check out her stuff. She also does Wrestle Forum, which, sometimes we have people on there. It's really more of like a side podcast. Then she has Indie Talks, where she brings people on. And there's the All Elite podcast, where myself and Tiff talk about everything in that AEW world. We talk about Dark, Dynamite, BTE, all that good stuff. You can check us out on there on YouTube, on our Twitter accounts. We're available everywhere. So just make sure you're searching up the No Holds Barred Network. You'll find the All Elite podcast on there. So I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Kyle, man. And thanks for making the time tonight. Thank you for everything you do to help me out and figure out all my tech stuff and graphics. I very much appreciate it. And support their Patreon, because they do a lot of
that's
stuff.
right. Patreon. That's what I meant to say. No Holds Barred Network Patreon, where myself and Tiff post content on there. We have a podcast called Free for All, which is another side of me and Tiff you don't see here on the wrestling podcast. It's a bunch of pop culture talk, anything kind of talking. We're actually planning a couple of themed episodes where one will be drinking pot or coffee, like K-cup coffees on the air from like different types from around the world. And then we're actually planning an American versus Canadian snacks episode where I'm sending her a care package of Canadian snacks. She's going to send me a care package of American ones that I don't get up here, and we're going to eat them live on the show. So that gets you access to that. Again, $1 a month, you get all that good stuff on there. So
I'm a proud patron, and I'm super excited.
Rob's a good patron. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun stuff planned for that.
Absolutely. Bill, tell us, I know Bill's got some tricks up his sleeve, but tell us a little bit about the popbreak.com and your recent episode of something called the Socially Distanced podcast.
Yes, if you must follow me on Twitter, I'm at Bodkin Writes, WRITES. That is mostly just wrestling stuff and me posting Hangman Page drinking whiskey gifs when I'm having a bad day at work, which often signals Bill's having whiskey tonight. So that's essentially my Twitter. But what I'd love for you all to do is to check out thepopbreak.com every single day. We do stuff. If you're an AEW fan, we've been on media calls with Cody Rhodes a number of times. We've interviewed Chris Jericho. We've interviewed Joey Janela. And we cover Dynamite every single week thanks to our lovely reviewer, Michael Dworkas. Of course, we also are covering NXT every week. We're covering pay-per-view, so check all that out if you're a wrestling fan. But we're also covering film, TV, music, digital trends, anime, comic books, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Follow us on Twitter at the Pop Break. We are /popbreak.com, also spelled out on Facebook, and at the Pop Break on Instagram, where you can check out all the concert photos we've had throughout the years. Yes, concerts when they were a thing. I am the co-host of the Socially Distanced podcast, which is a pop culture podcast I co-host with my friend Al Manarino, the managing editor of thepopbreak.com. Our most recent episode features Mr. Rob Williams himself of the BCP. We're talking about the penultimate episode of WandaVision. Of course, you can find that on Spotify, Apple, Google, and Anchor platforms. We also have Pop Break TV on the hub on the same platforms where I am the co-host of the TV Break podcast, and we also have the Breakcast, which is on those same platforms. And as for me, I have an interview with Ken Casey of the Dropkick Murphys coming out just in time for St. Patrick's Day. I'll be talking to him on a very early Saturday morning, unless that changes, which it has a few times already. And got a couple other things up my sleeve, as I always do.
Love it, guys. Well, thank you guys for making time for this. Enjoy the pay-per-view. And like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We are out. Peace.